Hi and welcome to my channel. My name is Gisele Kimura. I am a hot wife. This means I can have encounters with men with the full knowledge and consent of my husband. And I want to tell you something that happened yesterday. I had a threesome with two guys and I'm so happy. I'm feeling so satisfied. And while it's still fresh in my mind, all the details, I want to share them with you. This was not my first time having a threesome with two guys. This happened prior. If you follow me, you already know. In 2023, when I was in Cyprus, I met two French guys. They were friends, and we decided to do it and record for my platforms. So if you follow me for a while, you already know about this interaction, but it was such a good experience for me that I always seek that high again and that experience again. It's difficult to find guys that are open-minded about this because there's a stigma that I don't know, guys don't want to see another guy naked in front of them. Anyways, it's very difficult to find guys that are open-minded enough to do it. So the only time that I found guys that had this mind open to this possibility were the French guys that I recorded the video with, and I kept searching for 3 years almost, and yesterday I found them, and it was completely by accident. Another thing that is important to say here is that I don't have sex with guys that I don't like, that I'm not attracted to. All of my interactions are real, even the ones that I record to post. And the first threesome was real. I was really into those guys. And at this time, I think it was so long for me to find new people just because I couldn't find people that were suitable. Because let's be honest, I'm not gonna have sex with someone that I don't like just because I want to have a threesome. I want the experience to be good for everyone, including me. I am not going to have a threesome just because I want. I need to feel attracted to the guys, feel the connection. And it is difficult to feel connected to one person. Imagine two, and two guys that accept to do a threesome. So I thought before yesterday that it was kind of a mission impossible to try to find people. But I did find, and I feel so lucky and so happy. Let's start the story. I was on Tinder because even though I was not having sex since February, now we are in May, and I didn't have sex since February because I couldn't find anyone suitable, anyone that I liked. I always go on Tinder to check if I find someone nice. And at this time I found one guy. I'm not gonna say details about him because there's no need. I'm just gonna say that he's 10 years younger than me and European. And he lives in Europe. He's here on vacation in Rio. We talked a little bit and I could see that he was exactly everything that I liked. Physically, like athletic body, nice face. And this is exactly what I'm attracted to. I don't like guys that are same age or older than me. I like guys that are younger. And being 10 years younger than me, that's ideal because I'm 35. If he is like 24, 26, it's the ideal range for me personally, in my preference. So I found this guy, I was talking to him and I really enjoyed how he expressed himself. But I also had my doubts because sometimes the person is a very good texter, but when you meet in person, the person can be socially awkward or be different of what you were expecting. That's why I also try not to have lots of expectations, but I also try to avoid meeting in person a lot because I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings if I don't feel attracted by the person, if I don't feel the chemistry, and also because I have work to do. And if I am leaving work all the time to go on dates, I don't make money. So I need to be very selective about who I'm gonna meet. He invited me to go to the beach with him and his friend, and he said, "Oh, you're going to like my friend as well." And this was my first, like, why is he bringing his friend? don't get me wrong, I love when this happens, and not in a kinky way. Uh, I think that if I'm going on a date and you bring a friend with you, it's just adding fun, you know? And I'm not saying kinky fun, but I love meeting new people. So it can be even a little bit nicer to meet two guys instead of one, even if I just want to be friends with them in the end of the day. But it's not normal. Guys are a little bit like territorial and jealous. They wouldn't normally bring a friend to a date. So this was my first sign of, okay, this is a little bit weird, but weird in a good way. I couldn't go to the beach, unfortunately, because I did a tattoo on my eyebrows and I couldn't expose myself to sand or salt. And I invited them to watch the sunset at a bar, restaurant that I really like. I got a very nice table for us and I just waited for them to arrive, and immediately when I saw them, I knew I liked them because they have a good energy, a good positive energy, you know, a nice smile, a good posture. You know, when you look at a person and you immediately see that you like the person, that's it. So we started talking and eating and drinking, and the vibes were very nice. And I realized while we were eating and drinking that we could be very open to each other. Of course, before the date, talked about what I do for a living. I said that I'm married, and they are very open-minded. So they didn't care, but also we were exchanging lots of details about our sex life while we were talking. And I think this is very cool because I don't feel jealous if they say that they hooked up with a woman 2 days ago, you know? Since we were talking about sex a lot, I noticed that both of them were flirting with me. It was not just the guy that I initially matched, the friend also. And I was not bothered by it, but I was trying to understand if they were just like doing this because they are flirty, it's how they act normally, or if they really wanted to hook up with me at the same time. So, and I got a little bit shy as well. We decided to go to another restaurant and then we had sushi, we kept talking, but at that time I was very drunk and I started having headache. My phone was also in 30% and I needed to charge my phone. So at that point, I've noticed that both of them wanted me. But you never know what's gonna happen, you know, when you are all together naked. So I was curious to know what was gonna happen and how much fun it was going to be. Since I needed to charge my phone and I had a headache and they had medicine at their hotel, I asked them to go back to the hotel and have the medicine and charge my phone a little bit. And while we were there, it was just, now the fun part starts, the fun part of the video. They said, oh, just feel comfortable, you can lay down. And I was feeling a little bit sweaty because it was very warm here in Brazil. Still in May, it is very warm, like 30 degrees Celsius. So I asked to take a shower. I asked for a towel and take a shower. I took a shower, and then the guy that I matched on Tinder, let's say guy 1 and guy 2. Okay, guy 1 is the one that I matched on Tinder, and guy 2 is the friend. So guy 1 was here on this side. I was only wearing a towel and I came here in the middle. And guy 2, he was a little bit like, do I lay down? What do I do? And I said, come here, lay down. And immediately, like, he put his hand here on my leg, and I was so happy. It was like, I was one of the best moments of my life. I still had a little bit of headache, so I just laid on the side like this and started cuddling with guy number 1 while guy 2 was touching my leg, and they were very respectful. They didn't try to force anything. So I did the first move and I started kissing guy 1, and guy 2 started. I need to use very bland terms from now on, okay? And I hope you guys understand that I cannot share everything that I want to share here on YouTube. Guy 2 started rubbing his hand over the towel and then under the towel. Okay, I think this is enough for imagination. And then I started making out more with the guy number one. Guy number two was really touching me. And at some point I was like, okay, I'm kissing too much the guy number one. Let me turn around and kiss guy number two because I haven't kissed him yet. So I turned to the side and I started kissing guy number two. And guy number one removed my towel and started licking, biting, twisting, doing things like this. And at that point I was very turned on, let's say. I don't remember exactly how many times they finished, but I would say at least 3 times each. Okay, the first time I was here still laying down. Guy number one was here taking care of me, okay? And I was here with guy number two. And I was giving him head. When I got distracted a little bit, guy number two finished in this area here, and then it was time for me to do the same with guy number one, because guy number one haven't finished yet. Guy number two like rested for 5 minutes, and then I focused on guy number one and I did the same thing to him. And so imagine the whole night this happening, like just go with the flow, you know. They really, I think everyone says the same thing, and I'm not trying to brag, but they said that my head skills are very good and that I'm very good at it. There was a joke while we were together, because they are 10 years younger than me, that I said that I was their mommy, and so for everything they were like, oh, mommy is so good at what she's doing and things like that, you know. I'm sorry for not being able to be more specific about what was said, but I think you guys can imagine. My favorite part, because at that point it was making out with two guys but one at a time, you know. So my favorite part was when, and I don't think I can demonstrate, but think about it, okay? There's one guy in front of me, he's laying like this, and I am in front of him here, and I'm performing this. And I'm at the corner of the bed, but looking down, okay? Facing down. So this part here is up, okay? Like a dog. Okay? And guy number one comes from the side of the bed and starts working on me in this position. This was my favorite part, because I really like when it goes inside me and very deep, you know. It's one of my favorite things in the world, like being able to receive pleasure and give pleasure at the same time. It's very good. And I think it is very kinky for me as well, because I know that the guy that I am doing this, he is looking at all the scene that it is happening, and he can hear how much I'm enjoying. So I can look in his eyes, like take a break, look in his eyes and say, do you like that? Do you like to watch your friend doing this? And I don't know. It's a type of thing that makes me almost completely satisfied. And I say almost because nothing ever makes me completely satisfied. I always want more. It's like an addiction. But this is the type of thing, this is the type of interaction that makes me closest to be fully satisfied. And yesterday I was all smiles. Today I am still so happy, because I'm really feeling that, wow, it was so good and it was so fun and the guys were so nice. Anyways, we continued doing this for 3 hours, and then we go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I tell them, look, you guys seem very tired. I am going to my house. And they were like, no, 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 stay here, sleep with us, and then we can do the same thing in the morning. I was like, okay. I think it's a good idea. It was a little bit challenging to sleep with guy number one, guy number two, and me in the middle, but I have to tell you guys, it's such a good feeling, you know, to be able to cuddle with one person here, and you are hugging one person, and you put your leg on top of the other one just to show that like they belong as well. And I know that both guys are there for me because they like me and because we are having fun together. It is such a nice feeling to know that I can give them pleasure, because I am so grateful that they are giving me pleasure too. We slept, we woke up at 10, 11 a.m. We did it again, but we didn't have a lot of energy in the morning. And then that's it. They went to have breakfast somewhere, went to the beach, and I just came back home. At this point, my husband didn't know what was happening. I just told him that I was going on a date. Around 11 p.m. I said that everything was okay. And at 2 a.m. when we were like not going to sleep, but in like resting a little bit between sessions, I said, I'm not going home today, so see you tomorrow. These are the only 3 things I said to my husband. And then the other day when I arrived here around noon, my husband was like, oh, then what happened? How was it? And I started saying, look, this guy that I matched on Tinder, he went on a date and he bring a friend, and then we got drunk. And then my husband started smiling and he said, so did you do a threesome? And I was, yes. My husband was very excited, and he loves making jokes. He was like, oh, you're filthy now. You need to take a shower to clean all your filthiness, things like that. But it was fun because my husband got so excited and turned on by the fact that I was so happy. I was smiling a lot, that he got turned on by it. And then he asked for me to give him head. And I said, okay, let me just take a shower and I will give you head. I started giving head, and while I was giving head, I was always like stopping a little bit sometimes to tell him things that happened during the night, details, vivid details, what happened, what the positions, what did they tell me, what did they call me, that I had both inside me at the same time, things like that. And my husband got more excited, more and more excited. And he asked me to his face. Do you guys know what this is? Like a motorcycle, yeah, but on his face. I did it, and I think it was very interesting because 1 hour before, I had guy number 1 and guy number 2 inside me, and now my husband is like enjoying himself with the sloppy seconds after I got back home, after I had the whole interaction with those 2 guys, and my husband was really enjoying. After that, I told my husband that he could finish inside me because I wanted to be a real SLUT that day, and I wanted 3 guys inside me in less than 3 hours. So he did it while he was also doing his thing. I was telling him how good it was, how I love going out and being with guys that I barely know, and how it's nice to get back home and know that my husband is going to be waiting for me, things like that. So this was enough to make my husband very excited and finish. I know that some people maybe think that these stories are fake. Well, I wouldn't be here telling a fake story. I am a true hot wife. I posted here videos of my wedding, my marriage certificate. I've posted videos in my other socials about me interacting with other guys. I have 45 videos with me interacting with other guys that are not my husband. And I also have videos with my husband. So I don't need to prove that this is real. Maybe some people are going to be like, oh, why haven't you recorded anything then? Because I am a real housewife. I don't need to record everything to sell, you know? My life is not about just making money, 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 money. I also want to have fun. And yesterday, it was all about having fun. Maybe I can talk to these guys and meet them in Europe, and we are going to make a video together. Maybe they are open-minded to do this, but it's not something that I wanted yesterday, because work is work and having fun is having fun. You guys have no idea the amount of work it is to record, get all the permissions, paperwork, to record a video and post it on the internet. And I didn't want that. I just wanted to enjoy myself. I did, though, record some videos with them to show to my friends. And if they allow me to post here, I will post. Galera, eu não sei explicar o que aconteceu, mas ó, estamos aqui, you. E aí tem esse aqui. Ai,
Que fofo!
que fofo, so handsome.
So handsome! Que lindo!
I think life is beautiful now. I don't know how much time this is going to last, but I can tell you guys that I am very happy. And I can't wait to do it again. They invited me to go to their country on vacation so we can do it again. Seriously considering going. And also I am talking to another person not related to this video that I met at a party, and we have plans to do a threesome in his country as well, and this is going to happen in July, beginning of July, so in 2 months from now. Let's see. I'm very excited and waiting, like longing for this to happen again, because it was extremely fun. The guys were ideal. They are so smart. We just have a good chemistry together, all of us. So I can't wait to do it again. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed my story. I hope you enjoyed this video. I have other videos here in my YouTube channel telling stories about dates, so you can check them. Or if you want a more in-depth version of me, like more my day-to-day life, you can go to my Instagram, and I am always posting new content there and stories that show when I am on dates, when I am out with friends, and I talk a little bit with my fans and subscribers and followers. I wish you have a very nice day, and bye bye.